Hi there, stamping friends. It's Traci Raether from Plum Crazy Stamping. It is May 8th, our Paper Pumpkin workshop evening. We're going to be looking at the April 2023 kit called All the Little Things. So it's really a very cute kit, very spring kit. So I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. We also have a free box organizer that came as a part of the kit at no additional cost. And I'm really excited. I purposefully did not put it together so I could do it with you tonight. And I know that I use these boxes to store some of the spots, some of the embellishments. I also use them to store my paper scraps and sets of cards, different things. And so it'll be nice to see how this box organizer works. I am going to go ahead and put the camera down and we'll go ahead and get started tonight. So I will need to go upside down for just a minute here while I flip my camera so you can see the desktop. There we go. And if as you tune in, if you would please share in the comments your name, where you're watching from, and then use the comments for any feedback during our workshop, or if you happen to have any questions, I would appreciate it. And I like this to be interactive. The more interactive, the better. Makes it more fun for everybody, I think. So, you can see the paper pumpkin box that I get in the mail. This does come to me every month. If you have watched our workshop before, you know that I have shared that my husband buys this for me every year for Christmas. And then every month I just get a gift. I know when it's going to be in the mail between the 11th and the 13th. I know that it will arrive here 7 to 10 days later, and it's wrapped in tissue paper. And, now I know a little bit about it because they'll tell us a little bit more to get us all excited to get these kits. But it really is a surprise when it comes in the mail. This kit that we're going to look at tonight has 3 sets of 3 cards for a total of 9 cards we're going to make. And in this set, we got these really pretty envelopes. So there are 9 of the envelopes. We have all kinds of die cuts. I have them kind of all set up here, so I'm not going to pull out all of them because I kind of have them arranged to work with you tonight. We got a shaded spruce ink spot. Now I'm going to use my larger ink because I save these for when I am out and about crafting with others. Just last weekend I was crafting with my sister-in-law, and I actually had my Stampin' Spots. It was really nice. An easy way to take a lot of ink and not have to carry a lot of the bigger stamp pads. There was black and Calypso Coral linen thread in this kit. Our stamp set. Let's see, how is this easiest? Maybe if I show it to you on a white background there. 4 nice sentiments, some decorative dots here, this branch and a flower. So I have most of those on blocks to use tonight as we create together. And then I also got a number of our mini glue dots and dimensionals to add some interest when we pop things up. And then a set of gems, very sparkly iridescent gems. So, all right, well, before we get started with the kit, I thought it might be fun to do actually the free box organizer first. So let me show you what they sent. And it's actually pieces of cardboard that you can put together to make different size openings. Like I said, no, I did not practice. I probably should have practiced before we're all doing this together. But anyway, so these will go across this way. And then I think you put the just the bottom pieces in here to hold this across. And they just fit together. Kind of just doing the edge ones and see what they have it look like. So, you know, that was pretty easy, right? And these are like plastic coated, so they're very nice. I think that they will, you know, stand up to use because they do have a coating on them. So there we go. Well, that's kind of the first example, I guess. If you wanted to leave it like this, so the ink spots fit right in the edges, you could put your ribbon in here. You know, if you took out one of these, you might even be able to fit your stamps in here. I think I've told you guys before, I keep mine in a recipe box, those stamp sets, and it works great. I just have had to get my second recipe box, and I've been doing this for years, so a lot of them will fit in a box. You could take different die cuts, sentiments. You know, you could also keep some of your gems in here if you wanted, or if you just wanted to keep this whole box full of the Stampin' Spots. They gave us enough, now I'm not putting this underneath, but that we could fill this whole box and they could be too high. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4, 24. 48 ink spots could fit in here. That would be really a nice way to keep them. I've actually bought a toolbox, tackle box kind of thing. That's what I keep mine in. So just like this, it's just a little bit bigger because I have a lot of Stampin' Spots. But anyway, so that is the free box organizer. And it closes and it's all good to go. So what a great benefit this month. All right, what do you think about that organizer? Hi, Betty. Hi, Betty. Betty and Betty are on here. Anyone else? And what did you think of the organizer? And then we're going to go ahead and get started. So for those of you that have Paper Pumpkin, if you want to grab your supplies, these are pretty simple, so it's going to go very quickly, I think, and easy today. So I'll just show you on the instructions. You know, on the cover here, we see the 3 different cards. On the back, they tell us everything that should be in here. So I was just showing you all of the things that are a part of this kit. Here's a little more detail to what all the die cuts look like, the sentiment labels and all of that we get. They give you some ideas for some alternatives. I'm going to give you some ideas, some more ideas. You can also just use this QR code and scan it and go to a video of how to put this together in case you didn't have the opportunity to watch a workshop, or if after this you can either come back to my video and watch how to put these together, or you could go to that Stampin' Up! Video to get help. They also let us know what coordinating Stampin' Up! Colors. So Balmy Blue, Basic Black, Calypso Coral, Granny Apple Green, Petal Pink, Poppy Parade, and Shaded Spruce. So really pretty colors. All right, so let's go inside. The other thing that I'm going to show you is that there's always a ruler on the instructions. So if you don't happen to have one, they've provided for you. They also, as we get started here, will help you to arrange your supplies if you really want to make, you know, 3 of this card number 1, 3 of card number 2, and 3 of card, ooh, it's mislabeled. I never saw that before. Number 3. You could just get all your supplies together, and then I would make, if you were looking at trying to do them in a time-effective way, I would make all 3 of number 1 and then go on to 2 and 3. And then they actually give us the step-by-step details. So they even tell you what to stamp, how to put your adhesive on the back. So they intend for this to be popped up. So they have dimensionals behind here. They tell you how much linen thread to use. And then if it's white circles, it's dimensionals. If it's little gray dots, it's actually the mini glue dots. And then they have the even a guide to how many gems they suggest that you put on the card. So let's go ahead and do the first one. Our first card here, I've kind of got all the parts and pieces. So I'm going to first take this sentiment label, and because these stamps are photopolymer, I am going to use the Pierce mat, and we are going to do, let's see here, I'm grateful for all the little things you do, and we're going to do that in Shaded Spruce. So we'll get the Shaded Spruce open here. And, you know, I'm going to take the ink to this because it's a large sentiment, and I'm more likely to get good ink coverage, be able to check out my ink coverage, and not get the edges of the stamp because I'm not rocking the block. All right, and so then I'm just going to line that up. Give it a press. And there we go. I'm grateful for all the little things you do. And I've got my Simply Chamois off to my side here, so I just wash it off because some of these I'll need to be using on my alternative ideas. Let's put that off to the side. All right. And then this one just wanted us to take the instructions are having us use this card base. Oh, where's my bone folder? There it is. The card base that is a little petal pink on the bottom here. Okay. I think I'll get this here. And then look at this beautiful die cut. So when this came, I just needed to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I just had to punch out all of those little pieces out of this die. And then per the instructions, I just put my dimensionals on the back here. So just pulling the adhesive off. All right, make sure I have my card opening the proper way. And then I'm just going to center this on my card base, which they've provided. It's very nice, smooth cardstock. It's really, really nice. All right. Did I get that pushed down already? It's a little crooked on the bottom, but then they'll know that it's handmade, right? It isn't absolutely perfect, but looks good. Okay, we've got that part on. Now we're ready to put a little loop of thread on here. Now, I don't know. Sometimes I think this looks cool, sometimes I don't. I'm trying to make it a little looser than a tight circle. It kind of wants to stay in a circle. I guess I'm going to let it sit there like this then. And I'm going to hold it down with the, I need to put some dimensionals. But first, let me attach the, can you see there is this little accent piece here? I'm going to go ahead, I did put mini glue dots on here, as it's said in the instructions. And I'm going to put this on the back of my sentiment first, and then I'm going to put the oh, I see, they didn't, I put it on the wrong side. Okay, so that's why it was up like this. Let me just pull these off of here. They want it on the colored side so I can adhere it onto the sentiment label. That makes sense now. So because you could see the orange part, I should have put it on the front, not the back. That's what happens when you're in a hurry. All right. There, I could easily take those off. Let me go ahead and put those where they intended me to put them. And I just use my Take Your Pick tool, and these adhesive dots work really well. And I'm going to put these up on the top edge because once again, I am attaching this to the sentiment label on the edge because this is a little you know, enhancement that they're adding to it. Now I'll take these off and it's facing the correct way. And then when I put my larger dimensionals on, that will help me to hold down the linen thread. Okay, there we go. So let me move this up so you can see what I'm doing. So I have the little pieces of the glue dots there, and I'm just going to match that up. And now I'm going to put the dimensionals on the back of this whole label. Right in the center. All right. Hi, Patricia. Nice to see you. I'm glad you love your paper pumpkin. I surely do as well. Okay, we've got our loop of thread here. And now I'm just going to center this in the middle of the loop of thread. Oh. Now, if you wanted this to stay out like that, I would suggest you put a that tucked underneath very well. But if you want to keep this up here like this, you could use a little glue dot. I guess now that I moved it underneath, it's all right. Now it's not as perfectly round as it was. So that's up to you. Like I said, I don't often do this because I'm more tie a little ribbon or a knot person. There. So as they designed it with the very pretty envelope, that is our first one. Oops, except for our gems. So let's go ahead and put a few gems on there. Now they're suggesting 5. I think with this being so shiny, I am not going to use all 5 because sometime I'll have something not so shiny and I would rather use the gems on that. So let's see. Take one of these. I'll put that large one right there. And then I'm going to place it on some of these darker green areas. See if we can get them to pop a little bit more. Oh, I don't know. Might be nice on the silver too. So there. I think the gems did add a little bit to that. Yeah, Betty, I like the front of this card too. It's really, really pretty. But anyway, thank you. I'm glad you like it. So there is card number 1. Let's go ahead and grab number 2 here. And all right, we'll go ahead and get our stamping done, I think, right away again. So there are 2 die cuts that were provided for us to stamp. We've got a circle for our sentiment. which is enjoy your day. So I'm going to ink this up. And the issue with having a acrylic block bigger than the sentiment and a really gushy ink pad is you really got to watch the corners of your acrylic block so that you don't get the ink on it. Then I'm just going to center this. All right, we've got that. And now we have some, let me see if I have a piece of scrap paper here. Because we're going to probably end up going off the edges here. So we'll set our label there. Get our ink back over here. Okay, we're just going to do some of these decorative dots. Looks like they're doing them all one color, not necessarily stamping off. Well, maybe they are doing a little stamping off. Well, I already did those the same, so I'll keep them the same. All right. That was easy enough. I really like when they give us, you know, like a splatter or polka dots or something. It just adds a little bit more interest, I think, to the card. All right, now this one is going to have some linen thread as well. And we've got some die cuts. We've got 3 separate little flowers. And we've got the big flower and a little decorative part here. It looks like they want us to crisscross this. Let's see if we start on this. I think I have to start on the front. Nope, the back. All right, and then I'm just going to tape it to the back once I have it. All right, little Scotch tape here will work. You could use your tape runner if you wanted, or a little glue if you wanted to hold it for a little bit, but the tape works well. And I'm just pushing down on this so it stays flat. Okay. There we go. All right, and then the instructions are saying we are going to use a little bit of our glue dots here to hold this in place. I'm adding a couple extra. All right, so we've got that. I just need to take the adhesive coverings off here. Okay, and then I'm going to place this right on the bottom. This time our card is going to open Portrait, and leave a little green on the bottom there, but otherwise just line it up. Okay, oh, I like that on the green on there. Okay, then I did put the dimensionals already on the back of this large die cut. Once again, they've got some more of that foil on this die cut. Very pretty. All right, we're just going to stretch this kind of right across the front of the card. I like that they did the gradient paper. You know, if you have just white cardstock, you can always just use your blending brush, very dark on the end, and then lighten it up. That's one way to create that paper if you don't happen to have some cardstock like that, but I like that look. Okay, and then we have the little another die cut for an accent, and this one they had said just do glue dots, so I have that. Take them off. The adhesive, okay, and we're just going to place this kind of right there. And now we're going to put the a dimensional behind our sentiment. Let's see where the top of that is. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the top. And then use that right where there isn't a dimensional. Okay. And then it's being held up by the other things that have already been put on the card front. And then we have 3 small flowers that we're going to pop up with dimensionals on different places on top of this other die cut to just make it even stand up a little higher. It really does add. Have it overlap. I like it overlapping the sentiment label a little bit. And let's go down here. There we go. All right. And then we have a couple of gems to put on here. Now maybe this one. Let's try the 5. See how we like that. They're using 2 large and 3 smaller ones. Okay. All right, so there is card 2. What do you think about this one? Hi, Rosemarie. Okay, I'm just checking for comments. All right, let's go ahead and look at card 3. All right. Let's see, I'm going to grab my, we'll flip the instructions over so we can see this one. We have a little stamping to do again with the dots, and we're just going to do it on this die cut that they have, a little card front. And I kept them right here to the side. Right. This die cut I'm going to put on here is so much larger, there isn't a lot of space to need to stamp on here. Okay, and then we have the sentiment to stamp. So let's go ahead with that. And this one is with deepest sympathy. All right, I'm just going to center it here in the middle of this little banner. There we go. All right, now I'm going to move the ink out of the way here for a minute. And let's look at what we have with this one. So this time we're just using plain white cardstock because for the card base, because we have the card front. That was a die cut here for us. We're going to go ahead and make a landscape card this time. And you know what? Just to save a little time, I'm going to use some glue. If you're just using your kit, it would be just some more glue dots. Okay, so we've got our card front down. Now we have a very large couple of designs here and some linen thread. So we're going to just put the larger design down as the card front. On top of the card front, I guess it's another layer as the very large one. And this one has just the glue dots on it. What I like about these kits is I can, whether it be Paper Pumpkin or one of our kits, I can just follow the directions and do what they do. Or I can do what we're about to do, make some other card designs, right? Let's see. All right, I am going to put this over here a bit, trying to see a little bit of the stamping I did. Okay. And then we have, this one looks like putting a bow behind where we're going to put that sentiment down. Make it kind of loopy so that you see the end of the loops and some of the string hanging down. So that's going to be right here. I'm actually going to use one of these to just hold that in place. So I'm just going to push right where the knot of that is in place. And we'll see what we can do when we put the sentiment over it. This smaller flower now just has dimensionals on it because it's going to be one part of the flower popped up on top of this. So I'm actually going to line it up with what would be the flower underneath. I'll hold this up closer for you so you can see the dimension a little, but that looks cool. And then, now with this, I don't know that I like that coming out underneath there, I wonder. I think I'm going to put this on and trim those tails and just see the loop coming out. I think it looks kind of funny with them hanging out underneath. So I'm just doing that loosely so I can take my scissors and trim these underneath. Okay. There. We'll just leave the little loops there as a decoration. And then we'll add our gems. This one, they only have 3. Okay. Guess I'll put one on each flower here. There we go. Okay. And then there is the third card for the kit. And I don't know if you can see the 3D. So it's a little 3D over here because of the ribbon behind it, but then these are layered. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so that is the kit. I'm going to move the instructions because I also have 3 alternatives for you. So let's see how you're doing. Oh, thank you for the hearts, you guys. Hi, Florence. Yeah, they look like doily pieces. Let's see. I'm just looking at comments. Yeah, the stamps in the recipe box work well. Okay, great. All right, let's look at the first card for an alternative here. Let's see. So first I decided to use the this large one that we had right here. I thought, wow, you know what? I bet you I could make a number of cards with this, because one of the options that we have is making many more than 9 cards and really getting a lot more out of our money. So I actually, you can see this one, I cut this little piece off. I cut this top piece right here, and then I have this bottom piece left. I'm going to use this top piece and a little piece on this design that I'm doing right now. So I also, and you know, you may or may not know, this month I'm featuring scraps and using your scraps on my Wednesday Facebook Lives. So last week I did a couple of cards with larger scraps and used them to make decorative card fronts. This week I'm using strips, and we're going to make those into beautiful cards. And I was working in my scrap bin, and I happened to have Calypso Coral already through an embossing folder, and I made an extra one, so I'm like, hey, that works. I'm going to put that right on the front of this card. So that's how I ended up, very simply, going in my scrap bin. Let's see, which way do I like this to go? I'm going to glue the debossed side down and keep the embossed, the part that's popping up on the front of the card. So that made this very easy. So I have a recipe box too filled with card fronts or embossed card fronts that also, when I'm moseying along and doing card designing, I can do it more quickly because I have things at my fingertips. And those are the things, like if I'm watching TV or watching a movie, maybe I've seen it before, but I like certain parts, I'll do that kind of stuff sitting here with my cut and emboss machine. And then they're ready for when I'm designing cards. All right. So then I thought a little pop up here, and we'll get our flower on there. So I'm going to glue the flower, whoops, down to the top of the circle here. And I'll tell you my tip on this. I didn't want this stem just being stuck in the center of the card. That's why I'm mounting it on a circle. It looked funny floating. So kind of note to self, that's one of the things that you can do to anchor something on your card front. And then I'm going to add some interest by popping this up. Okay. And then just going to center this. And then I want to, I can go down here or up here. This is going to be my sentiment label. And I think I'm going to use, let's see, did I have a different, I'm going to do Enjoy Your Day. I really like that one. Get out my ink here. Okay. Get my pad here for a second. Okay. Now I'm going to pop that one up as well. I think I like it down in this bottom corner. So I have the dimensionals not going on the circle. They're actually here and here because I didn't want it to be at an angle. I wanted it to match this. And then I'm going to kind of pop these two up and have them kind of create the, you know, that rule of three as far as an accent around my main image. So let's see. I'm not going to put that down really hard. I'm going to look at them together here and see how I want that. Okay, kind of created a triangle. Now I'm going to put a couple of the gems on here before I do the inside. So we'll use one of these larger ones, maybe right between those, and then a couple of the smaller ones. then on the inside, I want to do a little bit of embellishing as well, but I can go ahead and I'm going to glue this in first. And this is just 4 by 5 1/4, the usual either card front or card insert size, pretty standard. And then I thought I could use this to anchor just a little flower on the inside there. And I'm just going to glue it down flat. Inside the card here. But there was that little piece and I'm like, that would be perfect for the inside of a card. Now I could do that, or I could actually, well, now that I put that there, now I'm going to have to put it on top of here. If I put this closer to the bottom, I could probably have anchored that right to the bottom of the card too. But I'm like, why waste that other little accent? So... all right, so there is our first alternative card, and know that I have, you know, one more half of this that'll be able to make another card. So let's see, any comments or questions? I'm not seeing any more right now, you guys, so... going to put this right here, and let's see what we want to do next. The next one, so this one I did a little cutting up of this one too. So I have this one branch right here, so this whole corner. That is, let's see, nope, I didn't use, this is for another card. I have 2 little leaves I'm going to put on another card. I have this part right here. That's going to be the lower part of this card down here. This, it's actually like 3 leaves. 1, 2, 3. This part I couldn't use. But then this branch is right here. And one of the things is you'll see where they go flat. I'm going to line them up, and I made a special card front so that I could line that up, and it looks like it belongs there. But I'm going to be able to get 2, if not 3 cards out of this one design. Okay. And then I took the envelope and I'm just using this flap part for making another color on here. And then this center part is another card front for another card that I'm going to make later. So I'm going to get, like I said, at least 2, if not 3 cards out of what would have just been 1 card. Okay, that's the way you can do it. And then just supplement with a white card or a white envelope, and then use those dots and make your own decorative flap, and you've got a pretty envelope. Okay, so let's go ahead then and put this card together with the pieces that I created. So first we're just going to use the card base that they supplied. So it's a white card base. Okay. And then before I put it on the top here, I'm going to need to do a little gluing and trimming. So I'm going to leave this so I have a little bit of the green here on the other side. Let me just go ahead and get the glue. I'll move this up a little bit. get some glue on the back of my envelope flap, but not on the corners. Okay. And I want my silicone mat here in case the glue does squish out somewhere. It's not on my desktop, right? It's on my silicone mat, and I can wipe it off. All right, so let's get this down straight. And, oops, push that up just a little bit. Okay. Then I'm just going to trim this off, and you know what? I can see I have a little glue, so I'm going to use my older scissors. I clean them off with alcohol wipes, but I still don't like to use my tiny scissors I do all my fussy cutting with, because that's got to stay very sharp. It also cuts my ribbon. All right. Set this to the side so I remember to wash that. These pieces of glue off of here. All right, now we're going to go ahead and place these towards the edge. Now once again, you'll see I couldn't just put these like this and then leave them, because where do they go? And that's why I decided to have the circle. You could do any kind of label punch that you wanted. And I'm going to keep this all flush, and then I'll pop up the sentiment. So just putting a little glue on all the different parts here. And for those of you that have this kit, as you're cutting it out, there are some awkward spaces where there's a branch. And so what I did is I just took the white and just made it smaller until I ran into the brown outline. And that way it looked like it belonged there. And you didn't have this like little piece of brown sticking out from the leaf. It looked really funny. So I just kind of then cut things at an angle until it kind of flowed together. All right. And I like that this went up in that corner. All right, let's see which sentiment we want to do on this one. I wonder if this one will fit. That one will not fit. Let's see where the celebrate today I like. Okay, and now that one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. Yeah, Betty, I like the shininess of the fronts too. Thanks, Rosemary. Now these would be a beautiful little card set to give to someone as a gift too, because all the colors match. Okay. Then let's go ahead and we'll just glue that onto the card front. And doesn't that look like it was designed to be that way? I really like this card. Now you could leave it like this, and you know, I think I would look for some of my actual silver embellishments or something in one of these greens would be pretty. So I'm not going to put an embellishment on that right now. I'm going to look in my other embellishments. Okay, let's do card number 3. Thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you're enjoying the workshop today. Okay, so this one is going to be really simple because if you recall, this was on a, what color? The blue background before. So I thought we'd go ahead and use the petal pink. All right, where's the bone folder? There it is. Get our card base down here. Okay. Now I told you I'm working on scraps. Well, in my scrap bin, when I had a regular card front and I used one of my the stitched rectangle die to cut out, you know, a card front, I thought this is perfect. How did I end up doing that and made it all the same size? So I wasn't throwing it away. And look at what it looks like when you make a frame right on top of here. Who would have thought that I would find a petal pink gradient cardstock that I could put a frame around to accent it? Anyway, that was a happy moment. Sometimes those happen. You know, I save things. Sometimes I finally need to throw them away. But sometimes it's good that I saved it. So, this is one of those times. All right, so now, though, the thing is going to be gluing it down. So I am going to use this glue, and I'm going to make a really skinny line on here. If you have the fine tip glue, and that's more comfortable for you, you could do that. Once you get going with this, you can make it like it's fine tip. It's just kind of keeping steady pressure and moving your hand to get the little line. Every once in a while I get a little, you know, more than I want, but you can always use the gum eraser to take it off later. All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead then, and I'm going to pick this up and then put this on top of my silicone mat so I'm benefiting from the, hopefully not putting the glue on here. And just kind of dropping this down. And it's not a perfect fit on the sides. So it has, oops, a little border, which is fine. Because I'm making the border the same on each side. Okay. But the top and the bottom are actually right to the edge. All right, when this is dry, like I said, I'll use my little gum eraser and make sure that any of that glue that's there is gone. The good thing is it will dry clear. So let's put this over here so you can see what I'm doing. And then, now I believe I'm going to make this one landscape because, let's see here. Or did I want to do it this way? Oh yeah, I took another scrap and just used it down here for a little circle. I didn't like the flag in that corner, so I decided to do this. And let's see. I'm going to do another, you know what? I am going to just glue this down and I'm going to do happy birthday on there. I really like this for a happy birthday card. And I'm not going to glue it down because if I make a mistake, I want to be able to flip it over. But let me go ahead and use my dimensionals on this. And we'll have another really nice card. I don't happen to have my happy birthday stamps here right now, so I will do it afterwards. But put a picture when it's completed. It'll be in my email next week, which I did add. Was it the 15-minute message or something? Or you can go on my website, www.plumcrazystamping.com, and you can also sign up for my email so that you can get the highlights of making this and get a picture to look at. And the people that have ordered Paper Pumpkin from me, you will have that information in the Facebook group. So no worries. Okay. There we go. And I'll probably stick with the green, or I could go with Sweet Sorbet for a happy birthday for this. That might be pretty. And you know what? I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet gems on this one. So with that being said, I think I'm ready just to line these up to make sure that you can get a good look at them all. And any questions that you have about Paper Pumpkin, like I said, you could buy it. One Paper Pumpkin's $24.50. And then you can also order them, you know, like every month. You can just keep an order going as long as you like them. If you don't like one month, you just say suspend. And then the next month you have the choice to choose again. And you can get 3 and 6 month and 12-month subscriptions. If you buy the 12-month, you're basically getting 1 month free out of the year, and you get a little discount for the 6-month, and then the shipping is included in the cost of the projects, you know, the Paper Pumpkin project. So, any questions? Let me see. Yeah, great kit. Love it. Yeah, the thing is, the only way you can have access to getting like an extra of these is if you have a subscription. They also, this month, for the one coming up, the Paper Pumpkin that we haven't done yet, I wonder where I stuffed that piece of paper. There's 18 cards and envelopes, and they're very cool. They're like designed like this, you know, with gradients, or they have artwork on them, for $10. And it goes with the kit that you can purchase by the 10th of this month, so in 2 more days. And so that alone is another 18 cards you can get out of your kit with just that small extra investment. So if you have questions about that or anything else Stampin' Up! Related, don't hesitate to contact me. And my phone number I will post when I post this, as well as just remember Traci, T-R-A-C-I, at plumcrazystamping.com. I'll just remind you, tomorrow night I am doing a scraptacular class. And so here's just a brief look at 3 of the cards I'm going to be teaching. And who would have known these are scraps? And so I'm going to help you to make good use of designing cards using scraps. And then, like I said, Wednesday night, I will be back on 6 o'clock here on my Facebook page, and I'll be sharing with you what to do with all those strips, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and how to make quick, simple, but beautiful cards. So anyway, I want to thank you. Let me go ahead and pop this up and say thanks so much for joining me tonight. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed this paper pumpkin workshop. This was the April 2023 kit. And if you're interested in getting one for yourself, next month's kit is available for 2 more days for purchase, and you can find that in my Stampin' Up! Store. So thanks, folks, and happy stamping. Thank you so much for the hearts. And I would appreciate a thumbs up. And if you have someone that loves stamping like you or you think would love it, please share this broadcast with them. Thanks a lot, folks. Good night now.